life lessons today. I'm obviously at the park in Brooklyn. Welcome to Brooklyn for those who have never came to Brooklyn, New York, or those who do live in Brooklyn, New York. Welcome to my little walks that I take around the park. And what I do is I walk and share some valuable lessons in the everyday life flow. And what I decided to do is just come out and just take a walk because I needed to clear my mind of all the things that are happening around. It feels like there's so much, especially now, it's like in between the Halloween, fall season, election times. So it's a lot happening around in the community. Look, a lot. Can I show you a lot? So I decided to get out the house and go clear my mind and just review some things that I have learned in my everyday motions. One of the things I'm gonna start with is, of course, get out and walk. Some people think walking is just to exercise or walking is just to get from point A to point B. But intentional walks, let me tell you, there's so much power in intentional walks. Whether it's for your mindset, whether it's for your body just to keep moving for health reasons, for wellness parts, for you to do your breathing. I love doing my breathing, doing my walks. Sometimes it's just that one-on-one time you have with yourself, your outside self, your internal beingness, and all the goodies. There's so much wealth in walking that I think a lot of us bypass it, thinking that we got to run. Because don't forget, you're talking to somebody who used to run marathons. Shout out to New York City marathon runners. Today is Marathon Day in New York, aka Gridlock Day. That's what New York City Marathon Day means. It means stay in your butt, no driving, leave it to the runners. So for those who don't know, I was just telling a friend of mine that I ran the Brooklyn Marathon a few years ago. That was my push for myself. And I'm so glad I did it because I don't think I would ever run a marathon again. It was a half marathon for Brooklyn. It wasn't a full marathon. Let me just keep it real. It was not a full marathon. It was a half marathon. So as I did that run, I remember saying to myself, oh my goodness, this is probably one of the hardest things I have ever done in my life. Now, y'all know I got degrees upon degrees. I worked with inner city kids. I have coaching businesses. I've worked amongst millionaires and billionaires. And, I've just been many gazillion place planned retreats for ladies. And I've just done a lot already in my life. But that marathon, I believe, hey, who's that saying hi? Say hi, and then let me know where you're coming from. If you're one of my tribe folks, hashtag tribe, my vibe tribe. Anyway, so I'm sharing some life lessons, and one of my lessons had to do with that little the little half marathon that I ran in Brooklyn a few years ago. And I remember midway, I wanted to give up. I was like, who am I doing this for? Oh, Gainesville, Florida. What's up? Make sure you follow me and subscribe if you're looking for a high vibrational space just to get some encouraging mojo from when I come on live. I share everything positive. Hey, Alan. Good to see you. Let me know where you're coming from so I can shout you out. Shout out Florida's in the house. Coming from Brooklyn, New York. So, yeah, that was my first life lesson I learned that sometimes you sign up for things and you don't even realize how hard it's going to be. I mean, I trained for it. I did my little runnings for it. And I think I went on an app and found what are some things you can do to train for a half marathon. And I just started doing that. And I wasn't a runner. So I started with, let me just try this out. Midway, I was like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? What do you win out of this? But there were so many encouraging people along the way that came out and cheered. And I remember telling myself, Ali, you just got to finish this. You got to finish this. You started. So I'm running. I guess I think we went from Prospect Park and then we had to run all the way up Ocean Parkway. That's in Brooklyn. So that's from, was it north to South Brooklyn? We were running up to Coney Island. And I remember saying to myself, why am I doing this again? Shout out. I know the flags, but you got to tell me where the flags are from. Come on, Alan, you could do better than that. Let me know what, I do not know my flags. Sorry. I'm working on it though. And I remember saying to myself, why am I doing this? So one of the second life lessons, valuable life lessons I learned from that experience was sometimes you just gotta try things, step out of the comfort zone and try something brand spanking new. And in the middle, you gotta be your biggest encourager. You gotta be the one that's cheering you on. You gotta be the one that's saying, come on, Allie, you got this. You're gonna wanna give up 50 million times. I'm gonna tell you that. We will wanna give up. Because I remember when I was at that mark when I was like, I don't know if I can finish this off. But I did. I remember telling myself, okay, Allie, you're more than halfway through. Even if you gotta walk, even if you have to walk, you don't always have to run. So that's the second thing for marathons, the second life lesson is that you don't always have to run. People automatically expect that if you're going to be moving, and because we're so used to the running pace of, okay, if I'm gonna do, I gotta run. And I'm like, no, hey Emma, how are you? Emma and Fun, make sure you guys are subscribed. If you're moving, you gotta run. Because we're so used to that running concept. How many of you guys are runners? And then where are my walkers at? So, because I shifted from age ranking, I went from my 30s to my 40s, and I was like, okay, we're not gonna be doing this running thing as much anymore. We want to protect our knees, especially on the concrete. So, we gonna walk it. So sometimes I just take out my sneakers and just go around the park and start off. So for those of you guys who are celebrating Marathon Day, New York Marathon Run Day, I celebrate you. Congratulations for all you do. And people have overcome many things just to do those marathons. So it's not easy. Shoot, I wasn't doing well on my little half marathon. I was gasping. I was like, I need some air. But I made it. Made it enough to say I completed it. So that's the last lesson in this life valuable lessons message I'm gonna leave for you is you make it. You make it. Even through the hardness and even through the challenges and the trials, and you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm gonna breathe through this. Your body starts adapting. You start thinking of other things you've done before, like slowing it down and trying a different pace and breath work. That's when breath work became incredibly important for me during that half marathon. And I began to learn that, all right, Allie, you just gotta take one step at a time, put one foot in front of the other, and just give it your best try. And as you're giving it your best try, you're gonna get to the end. Baby, when I reached that end, I was like, whoa, you did it. And I remember celebrating myself and saying, you did it. You did something that you thought was completely impossible for you to do. Started training probably 2 or 3 months before it, and I completed it. So that's my walk and talk for you guys. Sometimes you're going to create these very, very high, feels to many other people unaccomplishable goals. And they could feel that way. Trust me. It felt that way to me. I was going to celebrate myself if I just did half. But in the midst of the half, I was like, why not just complete it? If I started this, let me just complete this. And let me not give up on myself halfway. Just keep moving. And I don't gotta run it. I have to walk it. I could change how it is. It doesn't have to be any specific way. You don't have to run a half marathon. You don't have to run a marathon. You could actually walk a marathon. And the key is finish what you start. That's the last tip I'm gonna leave for you. Valuable lesson. Finish what you start. Don't be starting things and then giving up on yourself in the middle. And if this is what somebody came on here specifically to hear today, then I leave you with this last message. Finish what you start. No matter how you started, you complete it, you keep moving every single day, and your objective is to finish what you started. Now, who needed to hear that message? Because when I jumped on, I was like, okay, I'm going to walk and talk with them because I'm just going to be walking around the park today, getting my content. Because you guys are going to see I'm going to clip some of these and make some shorter clips for the shorts. So I just decided to just do my long content during my walk and talk. Hashtag walk and talk if you're walking and talking. And then let me know if you choose to walk and talk today or if you even choose to walk or talk. Choose one. Just choose something and do it for you, for me. And then as I do it for me, because it comes from the inside and it comes from such a good space from within me, somebody else out there gets the benefit from it. And that's the purpose of life. That's the most valuable life lesson I could share with you. Do things for your own internal, your own spiritual growth, your soulful connectivity with yourself because you desire to, because it feels good, because it's something that you know you're actually doing for yourself, not anyone else. And then share. So the talk part is I'm going to share. You guys know I'm a speech language pathologist, as a business coach, as an author, TEDx speaker, all the things I've done. It's a pleasure to come in and just be me and just share some valuable life lessons with you. All right, so I have completed my walk. I'm going to start heading back now. Great speaking with you. Hope you got something valuable. Let me know what your valuable takeaway was from this. And hopefully you got impacted. See ya.